In Gregg County, an estimated 23,000 people are food insecure. That means they may not know where their next meal is coming from. As KLTV7's Andrew Culver shows us today, a new partnership brings hope to families facing hunger.
For thousands of Gregg County families, an empty pantry isn't just an inconvenience, it's reality. More than 23,000 people in this county face food insecurity. That could be your neighbors, your co-workers, kids in your child's classroom.
This facility will now be known as the East Texas Food Bank Longview Resource Center, powered by the SWEPCO Foundation.
Today, SWEPCO is putting $350,000 into fighting that hunger. The donation honors James Templeton, a Longview resident who gave $250,000 through the SWEPCO Foundation before his death last year at age 100.
It's like the funding for feeding everybody for the entire year here in the Longview Resource Center. And so it's just a tremendous gift.
The food bank can turn every dollar into 5 meals.
This is just an extension of this, is how do we take care of the communities that we serve with electricity? How do we take care of them even above and beyond that?
For families who have nowhere else to turn, this isn't just about food. It's about knowing help is there when they need it most.
So $350,000 is over 1.5 million meals, right?
That's one less worry for parents trying to make ends meet, and one more reason for families to hope. In Longview, Andrew Culver, KLTV7 News.
The food bank served more than 1 million meals in Gregg County last year. To volunteer or donate, go to kltv.com. Click right there on the big red box. You'll find a link under today's